Hey, I'm Carmen, and today I'll show you how to make one of these from a whole bunch of these. Overall, this is a pretty easy project. All you need are a bunch of can tops, which you can collect over time, or if you're really thirsty, in about a day. Some yarn, any color you want. Personally, I like to add a little tape to tape up the ends because, as some people know, yarn can get frayed and get difficult and then you have to fight it. See? So I just pick a spot, add the tape, and just wrap it around. Just like that. It's easier to work with, and then you don't have it fraying all over the place. And at the very end, you'll need a pair of scissors. First step, with your yarn, should be about, I would recommend 2 feet, maybe a little less than 2 feet if you know your wrist is really small. But it's always good to have more and then cut off the excess later. So, take your yarn, line it up like that, find the ends, take a can top, go in through the top like that, go all the way through. That's step 1. Now the second part, after this it gets kind of simple. You take it, you turn it backwards, you see? This is the front of the can top, this is the back. You're gonna go through the back and go up through it like this. Make sure to line it up so that the top of the second can top that you're putting on is where the top of the first one is. See how the tops are both here? After that, you're gonna come back through this first can top. Bottom piece of yarn goes through the bottom, like so. And the top goes through the top. Pull it kind of tight. Should look like that. Next, you can do one of 2 things here. You can go straight across when you put on the next can top, so it would look like this, or you can cross the pieces of yarn so you get an X, which kind of looks like this. The way that I'm going to do it is with the X, so one side will be like this and the other side will be like that. Okay? So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the top and put it through the bottom. See, the bottom of the next can top. And we're going to take the bottom string and put it through the top of this next one. Alright. Oh, it's flipping around on me. Okay. So, it should look like that, little X. After you do that, you can flip this one over and go straight through the can top at the back. So you take the top one and you put it on the top of the second one. Like that. And you take the bottom one, put it through the bottom of the second one. It's good to keep it tight so that the can tops don't like squish together like this, because you won't want the bracelet looking like that. So you have to try to keep them flat and keep it kind of tight. For the next one, we're on the back. Just flipping it forward. You're just gonna go straight across. So The string that comes through the bottom of the can tops is going to go through the bottom of the next tab, just like that. And the top is going to go through the top. See? Just like that. Then after that, we're going to do the same thing that we did for this tab right here. We're going to flip over the one we just added, put it right on top there, and we're going to go back through the tab on the opposite side. And we're not going to cross here, we're not going to do any of that, we're just going to go straight through. So the one right here is going to go straight through the back. Like that. Same thing with the other side. Then you're going to pull it, flip it over, and there you go. Then you can flip it over, so you're back at the front side. We have the X's. And you're going to do the same thing that you did before. You're going to do the cross. So you take your next can top, goes through the bottom, like that, and the bottom string goes through the top. So you get another X. Alright. Then you're gonna flip it over, go straight through to the other side. Top through the top, bottom through the bottom. Flip it back, pull it tight. Get to that back side, straight through the back. Chop through top of the can top, pull it tight, flip it over, go through the tab on the opposite side. Flip it back, turn over your entire piece, and you keep going like that until you reach the desired length to wrap around your wrist. I would recommend using about 12 on each side for like my wrist, standard wrist I guess. If you have a smaller wrist, then maybe you can use like 10 on each side, and you keep going so you have a full bracelet to the end, so you can see what the bracelet comes out looking like. Put all my hand tabs on there, and I've gone through it. I've pulled the X's to make sure that it's tight all the way through. So now basically you have a bookmark. If you want to have a bookmark, then you can tie it off, whatever. But what are we doing today? We're making a bracelet. So, you go around and you do one final stitch. We ended on the X stitch here, so we're about to do an X stitch. Turn that over so it's right side up. So in the first one, take string that's on the top, put it through the bottom, take the string that's on the bottom and you put it at the top of that first one. Then you can't flip this over very well to get at this one. So you kind of had to just kind of get it in there. So the one that went through the top on the first one goes through the top on the last one. The string that went through the bottom on the first one here goes to the bottom of the last one. Now pull that tight. The easiest thing to do from here is pull the strings to one side and flip the bracelet inside out. So the X's are on the inside. Okay? And see how this is really loose? Gotta pull it real tight. So what you kind of have to do is take the ends and get it under that first stitch that you have right there. You might have to fight with it a little bit to get it underneath, but you can do it. Okay. Move that bottom one out of the way. Got it pulled through. Like that. Next, you gotta do the same thing with the bottom. You try to lift up the little edge with your fingers and just sneak it in there. Alright. See how this kind of got loose? We gotta tighten it up a bit. And pull the yarn pretty tight. And then you can just tie it off like you would tie off anything else. Knots. Now you just cut off the ends and you're done.